It is a gorgeous, hot day. And what's going on? Okay, it's being live streamed. I get it. No, they are always live streamed. They've been live streamed for 10 plus years. They were live streamed the second webinar we ever did when I had my mouth really gummed up with anesthetic from being in Mexico getting my teeth done. Anyway, I actually had some dental work this week. Got a new bridge put in right over here. See if you can see it. See it? It's really pretty nice. I like it. Anyway, Mark, how are you today?
Yes. How are you?
Great. Excited.
Okay.
We had an amazing webinar yesterday, everybody. If you didn't see it, you're gonna want to go watch the replay. Tim Christofferson was there, our guest. It was unbelievable, outstanding. Let's see if I get a little different angle here. Get rid of that. That's not better. That's maybe a little better. I don't like the backgrounds where it's some weird thing. I'm gonna put that in there. Then at the top of my screen, it says sign in. I don't even know what that is. I'm using a different computer than I normally use. I am up at my ranch and I am in a brand new living unit and I have a window, huge, massive window that is behind me, well, this way towards behind my laptop. And I don't know how to turn this camera around to be able to show you outside because it is just beautiful out there. A little bit overcast, but quite hot. 100 degrees Fahrenheit today, which is, we get like 7 or 8 days a year that well. Just maybe throw in the chat for those of you in the audience of how warm it is where you're at. I don't know why, but Mark, we don't have any of our Otter or note takers or all those gobbledygooks today. I don't know why.
Yeah, we don't have others, but we got Doug. Doug's note taker.
Yeah, Doug's got one, but we don't have any ourselves. Why? Did they abandon us, Mark? Did we do something bad to them?
Uh,
Did they not like us? I don't know what we did.
I'm not. I'm not sure why
They
they don't
abandoned
follow.
us. Our
Yeah.
Otter and our Fixer and our other different recording devices abandoned us. Well, anyway, Mark does what are called Opus shorts from our webinars. And can you get to them quickly? I think I have them potentially up on that I could get to them if you can't. Play the very first one, Mark, in the background. I'll shut up while it plays. So
Okay,
I
I'll
can
pull
share
up the
share.
Opus. Pull up Opus clip in a second here.
This is a great
And
tool. We've been using it for 6 months or more now and creating shorts that we can create YouTube, Facebook, Instagram Reels, TikTok. We don't really use TikTok, X. And it ranks them. It gives them a rating from 100 downward, and it'll combine different parts of the webinar to make one short. So I know the one that got rated the highest from yesterday's webinar with Tim is going to be one that Mark can show, or I can show it if Mark can't get it.
uh, uh, okay, so it's asking me for a code. Uh,
I'll
so
see if I can find it.
okay.
So you guys see my screen, right?
Yep.
Okay, this is gonna be the Opus.
All right.
This is the first one, and I think it's it's a minute and 57 seconds. I hope you'll be able to hear the audio. I think it'll come through. If not, you're gonna have to tell me, Mark, and we'll stop it, but because it's not gonna be very meaningful. Although it will have closed caption too. So this actually isn't sequential from what Tim was talking about. It takes various different sections of little blocks of time, 5 seconds here, 20 seconds there, 40 seconds there, wherever, and puts it together, stitches it to give the very coolness. So here we go.
We are in an abusive relationship with nature right now. We take, you know, all of nature's resources.
All right.
No, audio is not
Stop it.
coming.
I mean, was the audio coming through?
No, the audio wasn't coming. So I think you need to share audio on Zoom. You need to like share when you share screen
Okay.
and then click
Go back to Zoom. Stop share. Share, but where do I go? Oh, share sound. There we go.
share sound, yes. And optimize for videos.
All right, now I have it. Now I can do it. But I want this to be full screen too. Oh, here it is. Now it's full screen. Now it's showing. This is what I wanted to see there. There we go. Now, Mark, let's tell me. I'll stop it after a little bit and start it over again. Tell me if it's going to do the sun.
You know the saying, first they laugh about you and then they fight you, and then at the end they join you because you can't.
Yeah. Is it playing the audio?
Yes. Now it's playing.
All right, well, this is not the one I wanted. We're gonna do a different one. This is the 43-second one. I don't know why it picked that one. How do I get out of this page now? Let's see.
Yeah, you can hit the back arrow. Go
No,
back.
my back arrows don't show anything, so
Okay.
it's a page edit clip. I don't want to do that. I've gotta move my screen up. How do I go get a different one? Huh.
Yeah, you're should be able to click somewhere else and get out of that screen. But let's see.
Yeah, it doesn't have a back arrow. I'm gonna click refresh.
Refresh, okay.
All right, that's gonna give me all of them again. All right, so now let's try this first one that I was doing.
We are in an abusive relationship with nature right now.
That's the one I want to show, but now I want that to be able to go full screen. So let's see.
If you click on the title, that might bring the full screen. What happens when you click on?
Let's try that. Yep,
Yeah.
okay. Now, here we go. All right, here we go.
We are in an abusive relationship with nature right now. We take. We take, you know, all of nature's resources, and we don't give anything back. And abusive relationships, they don't last. They end eventually, and usually not in a good way. And coming back to a relationship of reciprocity requires on our part that we build some ecological literacy to better understand what nature actually is and what nature does for us. And that's what the book is about. When you see that something cannot be sustained in the long term, that's the definition of unsustainable. It's much easier to define that than actually what sustainability is. But when you see something cannot be sustained, you have to change it. And we see that the way we produce food cannot be sustained. And everybody is realizing that, from the largest producers to the agri-food companies, to the retailers, to the traders. And there is a surge of activities. And of course, the way forward is to change the way we do agriculture so the water is pure again. That's the That's the thing to do. So I think there is a groundswell of action, and most importantly, there's a mind shift happening, which is partly a generational mind shift, but it is also a shift that comes from the realization that you just described. We basically rely on nature 24/7 for everything we eat or drink or produce in our economy. And that realization has somehow gotten lost. So we have to get back to that notion that nature is essential infrastructure for any society, and we have to invest in nature in that level of infrastructure. And this coming back to a reciprocity with nature where we don't just take. We are in an abusive relationship with nature right now. We take. We take, all of nature's resources and
Stop it there. That was starting over. So we're gonna just tap the click. So that's the first one, and the second one is.
the saying, first they laugh about you and then they fight.
I don't like that one.
My book was published about a year ago. And up to that point, I think that this notion that nature is not just a nice to have, it's not just a luxury that you have in a national park somewhere and you keep for a summer vacation, but nature is our most essential infrastructure for all of human civilization. We basically rely on nature 24/7 for everything we eat or drink or produce in our economy. And that realization has somehow gotten lost. So we have to get back to that notion that nature is essential infrastructure for any society, and we have to invest in nature in that level of infrastructure. And this coming back to a reciprocity with nature where we.
Anyway, those are just two clips out of bunch. Here they
Maybe
all are.
25 or something.
Yeah. But that even the ones down here rated the lowest that are here are probably still very good. Yeah, there's 3 and 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 37 clips, which are published on our YouTube pages, on our Facebook page, all kinds of different places you can go find them. So. Anyway, it was really fun. Tim is a great speaker, and he wrote a very good book, which, by the way, is called Restoration, Regeneration. And the 2 words are around an image that's on the cover of the book. Mark might grab the book here. Maybe he's got one where there's probably one of these clips shows the cover, but it's published by a major publishing house called Wiley, and it's not just some self-published. And we're going to actually help him sell it. So any of you know college professors that this could be used in whatever they teach in their colleges or high schools, high school teachers and science teachers. This book could be a text for them. We could help them sell it. Get this book more widely distributed. So that was yesterday, and it was awesome. And watch the replay, which Mark will get up probably by this time tomorrow. Anyway, we're going to talk about something I've been doing recently, and we're going to answer your questions. So obviously it's Talk with Wayne. Most important that we get to your questions. So if there are questions that coming in, Mark, while I'm going to be showing, I'm going to have a presentation I'm going to do here. But if there's questions, either interrupt me or wait till the end and we'll get to them. But I am going to share, screen's being shared, but I'm going to go to a different one here. And it's not yet. It's a PowerPoint, so pull this up. So do you see the PowerPoint now? It says Life Surge.
Yes.
the economic future.
Yes.
And is my box that shows me and Mark where he's shy and doesn't show his image, is that blocking any of it, Mark, or are we seeing the whole thing?
No, we're seeing your presentation and your camera. Nothing is blocking.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. All right. So this is called Life Surge and the Economic Future. Obviously, you know what economic future is. You may not know what life surge is. I didn't know what it was 2 years ago. I attended an event 2 years ago in the summer at a very large arena, Boise State University. There were 15,000 people there approximately. It had a whole bunch of speakers through the day, and they're excellent ones. Ex-politicians, athletes, a guy named Vukovic who has no arms and legs. They're talking about life in general and how we could make it better for ourselves. So their entity is called Life Surge. Do a search, Mark, and you take the, well, let me look it up. You know what? I can just go to a different screen. So let me minimize this. I'm going to look up Life Surge. Put something in the text if you're attending, if you know what Life Surge is. I have this spell that I put an O instead of it there. Let's get rid of that. It'll find it. I'm telling you about it because at least here in the United States, and it's held around the world, you could go visit it because it's being held all over the country. Here's the places it's being held and when. Cleveland next weekend, so it's just one day, Saturday, and then Baltimore, then Pittsburgh, Long Island, Denver, Reading, Pennsylvania, Portland, Oregon, I believe, yes, Charlotte, North Carolina, Hartford, Connecticut, Phoenix, Arizona, Fort Myers, Florida, San Jose, California, Tampa Bay, Florida. And then it'll tell you who's going to be the speakers as well. Let's look at Cleveland next weekend. And it's very cheap. They're like $25. Here's the speakers. Craig Rochelle. This Christine Kane is a lady who's worked with, this is Christine. She's worked with sex trafficking and helping to deal with it nationwide. Natalie Grant, I'm not sure who she is. I've not heard her speak. Tim Tebow is an ex-football player, Super Bowl quarterback or Super Cup quarterback for the Denver Broncos. Heisman Trophy winner for University of Florida. This is Nick Vukovic, who's no arms or legs and still able to get all around stage, whatever. John Maxwell has written a ton of books. Ed Milet is a real estate speaker, does several different shows. I don't know that I know Sage Steele. But anyway, lifesurge.com is the site, and then /Cleveland. This is for that one. Like I said, I think it's very inexpensive, like $25. 26. And you get 2 tickets. Plus you get these books written by different people. This one's at Rocket Arena, which is the big basketball arena in Cleveland. Anyway, food, there's breaks, it includes a lunch. So you get basically your lunch for free, and it's excellent. It's not just some junky lunch. Fresh box lunch, it's got a $15 value just for that. So anyway, I attended one, and then you actually can then go to very specific events following it, which we also attended yesterday, Tuesday, and Monday. So 3 days where we were learning about stock trading, which I don't know how to do. And I'm not necessarily advocating it, not saying that any of you should do it. This is not an endorsement of the whole activity, but rather it is something I wanted to learn. And this course allowed me to do that. I'm going to pull back up the PowerPoint. And we're going to just talk about this topic because Life Surge is the whole broad event. And then two things they teach are real estate and trading, which is what I said I'd talk a little more today. What's missing are things we're excited about, regenerative living. I've talked to just some of those people, and it's possible that they're going to allow us to work with them and to teach regenerative living and potentially prep it. So as I go through these slides, stop me anytime by putting questions in, and we'll deal with them, because there's nothing that has to be in the same order. So what is Life Surge? It's an education organization where it's, like I said, trading and real estate. It helps people build financial independence and resilience. And what's the difference between those two things? Financial independence is fairly obvious, but resilience is to where if you're not necessarily financially independent, you still have the ability to withstand some kind of a crisis situation if it were to occur. So why did we go to this? And I've been twice to 2 of these events, one 2 years ago and several weeks. Is I think self-sufficiency, especially financial, is calling out. So you can't be a good steward if you can't sustain yourself. So what my role is I'm a student on the trading side, learning how to trade. I'm an aspiring instructor on the real estate side. Here's what's funny. Transparency, I'm 52, I wish. I'm 73. So again, I did have AI help me do this. And I didn't catch that mistake. Starting from zero on trading, yes, that is true. Smartest thing you can do at any age is to admit when you don't know how to do something and go learn. Well, I'm admitting I don't know anything about trading. And I'm learning. So how does Life Surge connect with economics? Economics says there's no false choice between profit and planet. I've never stated it quite that way, but that's excellent. Life Surge teaches the profit side, so the skills to generate income and build it up. Economics provides the framework. What do you do with that work? You heal the planet, build community, create resilience. Obviously, we've always taught multiple revenue streams, achieve those multiple skill sets, and resilience. And this is the same philosophy that I've used to build VPN, Rockville Commons, where I'm sitting right now. The Canine Hub, which we haven't talked a lot about, but that's an online business that we are starting to sell dogs online. go back. So, any questions to this point? Mark, do you see anything?
Yeah, I don't see any questions yet. Oh, there was one. There was one question about the data center resources and environmental problems.
All right, I'll look at the questions here.
Okay.
I have to expand my Zoom. I'll look at the question. Oh, from Providence, welcome. Why don't more farmers use cover crops? Great question. Most of the time, if farmers don't use cover crops, it's because they feel like they're an additional cost and they can't generate profit from it. Is that the truth? Probably not. That's what they believe. So that's why they need more education. And obviously, Alicia had another answer. There's a podcast about it, so you can go watch that. And next one. Actually, I don't think there's another question. There's just other things about, so the question was about cover crops, so we answered it. All right, now we're gonna go back to my screen. And now go back to live search and talk about the real estate side. What life search teaches is about residential flipping, single family rentals, multifamily basics, wholesaling, accessible entry points, and the fact that that's a low barrier to start. What I think is missing is anything about industrial property, anything about the need to do environmental assessments, not to buy things that you haven't gained a good understanding of the environmental circumstance about. Don't know about the remediation liability. Don't know about zoning or permitting. There's no discussion of that. Contamination and disclosure. And then industrial commercial deals are going to have higher value and going to be longer term. So I want to pitch to them. So I'm kind of using you as my audience before I go to them, the people who run Life Surge, and about why I can teach this. 30 plus years environmental consulting, it's actually 50 plus years. I know that environmental risk will kill deals a lot. I've worked on hundreds of industrial sites. I know what makes them viable or what makes them toxic. The opportunity is to bring industrial real estate education to Life Search. It's a market segment that is underserved and high value. As I said, my vision is to become an instructor or content provider on the industrial real estate side. So again, it's pretty cool. AI is helping put these slides in where I ask for questions. If there's other questions, we'll get to them. It's one new one. Can dark earth in ancient Amazonian soil? I don't know what that is. I think she meant to say dark earth in ancient Amazonian soil can produce forest restoration. I don't know anything about it. Not a question for me. I have to get somebody else to help us with that. All right, now, here's the part that I'm learning about right now. Certainly can instruct it. I am a student, the trading side. Why is this something you should know? So where I'm a student, I'm learning about stocks, options, futures, starting from zero. Why trading at all? It's another form of capital allocation, another tool in the economic toolbox. What they teach is not gambling. There's a lot of people who do trading are gambling. That's not what I want to be doing. So I want to learn how to do something. I have the ability to protect all of my downside. The analogy to farming is farmer who buys a futures contract. They do that. They will buy a futures contract on the corn or soybean, wheat. They're not gambling. They're protecting their livelihood. Price swings that they can't control. Trader, on the other side, provides the liquidity that makes that protection to buying those futures possible. So, what are futures markets? That's some futures markets are places where food, energy, and environmental resources are priced. Understanding futures is understanding economics in action. What are agricultural commodities? Those are those items that farmers produce that we consume. So it's any kind of a crop produced for consumption or for livestock consumption. What are clean energy stocks? Those stocks that you might want to trade that are in the clean energy space, electric, hydrogen, not fossil fuel, wind, other things, hydropower. So that's why they're potentially in the trading. And here's really what trading is. It's voting. The question isn't whether to participate. It's whether to participate mindfully. Economics is the mindfulness layer on top of the market. I think you know that I'm a faithful person, spiritual person. I quote something from the Bible, but you can see here there's other traditions, other religious traditions that are also potentially valuable that relate to trading. So, Bible, we have in Matthew 25, the master praised servants and multiplied what they were given. One was buried it out of fear, was rebuked. Capital sitting still is not stewardship. But later in the Bible, Jesus was not against commerce, but he was against corruption. So he actually got very upset when he saw, quote, money changers at his time that were corruptly stealing people's money. Faith also says, like I said, respect any other spiritual tradition, which could be, if there aren't any kind of spiritualities. Mark might argue that his views should be respected. But it's Islamic, Buddhist, Jewish, all of the above. So as I said, I'm Christian, but I honor what the other faiths have to teach. And then prayer is something we all do, depends on what we call it. When we're quiet, thinking about something, like we're quietly asking for help related to it, or just thinking about it, contemplating it, trying to come up with answers for how we approach it, asking for wisdom, mentally, emotionally. So my case, I call that prayer, could be called lots of other things. And we just finished a 11-week course on AI for environmental professionals. And you know that I feel this strongly that any environmental professional who ignores AI won't be replaced by AI. They'll be replaced by the other environmental professional who doesn't ignore it. So here, on the trading side, this investor who ignores markets won't be replaced by markets. They'll be replaced by someone who understands them. I've only seen one mistake so far that I missed, and there weren't a whole lot of others. This is done by AI, and I love the fact that it throws in here these slides on questions. So any other questions could be on anything, but maybe specifically on trade if you have them. I'll go to questions in a second. But I can look at them. Oh, there's been a few more important slides. It's all about Amazon. Nothing wrong with Amazon, but I don't know a thing about the Amazon. So. Sometimes when I click, it doesn't go there. So I've said earlier, start this, what's missing? I believe Life Search should have a session on prepping and regenerative living. So prepping, what is prepping? Practical resilience. Okay, not the TV show version. It's not bunkers, tinfoil hats. It's practical readiness for an uncertain future. Recent history proves the point. COVID, supply chain disruption, variety of natural disasters, inflation, energy instability. That could never happen. It happens about once a year. So what are the real questions? Do you have water? The power goes out for food for supply chain hiccups. Energy for grid goes down. Do you have a community? So prepping is economics, defensive, essentially building personal and community strengths now before you need them. This, where I said, what I was doing earlier today, is a prepping strategy. Rockville Commons, off-grid energy, water independence, working dogs, flying birds for food. I gotta move by to see the foot. Food production, all in one working location for one community. Regenerative living is the positive side. So assuming you don't need to be dealing with the resilience. Prepping is defense, generating is offense. Build something better. Not just survive. Regenerative agriculture, soil health, carbon sequestration, biodiversity, making land measurably better. Talked about this a lot. Energy independence, solar, storing it, battery systems, whatever they might be, hydropower, ponds, off-grid capability, not waiting for utilities to get it right. Water stewardship, wells, storage, conservation, owning your water future. Community design, where Rockville Commons and other aspects of economics all converge to a lifestyle. So life search teaches people to make money. Generative living teaches them what to do with it once they have to build things that will last. So this is sort of ending, a couple slides left. My vision for life surge is what exists today is the training education, trading education track, real estate education track, a residential focus, wealth generation skills. Instead, add to that industrial real estate education, prepping and resilience training, generative living content, what to build with the wealth. We are up to our last 3 slides. Trading, economics, and faith. Move any one of these, system breaks down. Trading without economics is just profit chasing. Economics without trading is philosophy. Either without faith is ambition, no ceiling. That's great. That wasn't for me. Let's talk. What other questions have you got? This is just the last slide. Wow, we have 18 minutes left. Don't get through presentations that fast usually, do I, Mark?
Yeah, that was yeah, that was flowing pretty good. Yeah. And we do have a few questions.
Check those out.
Here's one about flash floods. No longer purely natural disaster. They have become currently recurring
I don't think
reality.
there is any evidence of that. So
Okay.
before you state something, you better go look at the science. And I haven't looked at it either, but my gut tells me we're very disaster oriented today because of social media. Anything negative that can happen can get publicized so quickly. Is there truly science that says we have more flooding today than we've had in the past? I don't know if that's true.
Okay.
Okay. What's that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Drone technology to speed up the farmland. Yes, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Guerrilla marketing is an unconventional high-energy advertising strategy that uses surprise and low cost, creating interactions to promote brand. By disrupting public spaces, grabbing attention. What makes disrupting a public space good? Disrupting, in my mind, doesn't have to happen. Protests, advertising can all be done where the person that's encountering them by choice decides they want to be engaged. If you're disrupting someone else, getting in the way of traffic, you're stopping someone else to do what they are doing because of their choice. That's selfish. That's you saying that what you think is better and more important than what they think. I don't agree with that concept at all. And yet I did it. Told you, I was handcuffed to the gates of the San Onofre nuclear plant when I felt like nuclear power wasn't really as well regulated as 1968. Was a senior in hospital. I disrupted something. Am I proud of that? No, not at all. I was really proud of it at the time. Now I look back at, I think, how stupid of an 18-year-old that I was. And I don't think he did anything to make it nuclear power, so. This is interesting one. Hydro University does this. See what this is. I'm still sharing my marks, so you can now see my Hydro University. Seeing that? Hydro University? Mark, you there?
Sorry, I was muted. Yes.
All right, this is a cool one. This is something that's Hydro University expand expertise. I don't think it's just about water. Well, maybe it is. Maybe it is. It's more, it's about different kinds of hydro-related technologies. Hydro is water. This is a company that is promoting their products, which is great. Nothing wrong with that. That's cool. I do want to look up a guy that I looked at yesterday. I think his name is Bing. He's at Arizona State University. Or Bink. Could be Bink. Oh, I got a different way to find. Go deep. Let's just see what finds out what we get. Search Go Deep. Well, there's a song called Go Deep by Janet Jackson. It's not what I was looking for. Well, I gotta give it more. Look this guy up again. Let's put his name. I think it's Big. It's not that. Deep roots. Maybe it's deep roots. That's another part of the world. Lots of deep roots names. Do you remember, Mark? Tim talked about, that's the guy that he showed. We had a whole section of the webinar yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
I
Deep.
can't remember.
Okay.
Guys or oops, don't want to leave the webinar. That's all that. Stop. I'm just not remembering, Mark. What was that fellow's name? Talked.
Tim Christopherson? No, whose
Yeah,
name?
Tim's webinar yesterday.
Yes.
We went to this website where the guy did has 2 million views of a podcast he does about
Oh.
roots.
Okay. Let me see if I can find that. Roots Roots So Deep. Yeah, I think Roots So Deep.
Is that what it's called? Roots So Deep? Let's check that out.
Yes. I can pull it up if you want.
I'll look it up here because
Okay.
I can share again. All right, Roots So Deep, is that what it is? I knew I had part of the name, right? Roots So Deep. There we go. Roots So Deep. There we go. It's a movie that he did. This is such a cool site.
Yep. This is the
There it
site.
is.
Yep. There you go.
Look at this, guys. Wait till I scroll here. That is not him. That's somebody he interviews. Look, there's how many views it's had. Look at this, guys. 191,529,404. A lot. Here's the interviewer, this guy right here. I believe his name is Bing. Bick. Peter Bick, B-Y-C-K. And this is him, I believe. Let's go back to the TV. Oh, shoot, I'm wrong. That is not him at all. That was, look at this, different guy entirely. There's Peter Bick, younger guy. Wow. Peter Bick's not that old at all. Let's look him up. Professor at practice at Arizona State School of Sustainability, Cronkite School of Journalism. Bick's humor, his public speaking style, engagements highlight his most unique discovery. He was with Bill Maher, NPR's Science Friday. Married with 2 little ones. Let's see if he's, if we can see one of his presentations. Something must be going on outside here as the dogs are going nuts. Nothing out there. Yeah, I can show you now. Look, we're gonna do this, everybody. This is what it looks like. This is what I'm looking at out my window.
Yeah.
That's Oregon over there at the far, those mountains. Those are pine trees. This is the desert. From the creek where those trees are up to the top of that little bluff there is only about 60 feet elevation gain. We're building this fencing that's around here. And when we're done here, I've got one more task to do here. It's really hot. I'm gonna go grab water samples and see what the quality of some water that we have here is. Oh, I was showing partially my way. This is just some of our site. Those are shipping container buildings. Our caretaker, Joe, lives in this van right there. Anyway, that is what I'm looking at out the window. We are 4 minutes from the top of the hour. I don't know why my computer's plugged in, but it's not low on battery, but it's not getting power. Let me show you a little. Also, this is this RV that I just acquired. That's Viking right there. His head. Another dog cysts in that kennel. That's out the back. It's a deck behind the unit. This is turning around and looking at kitchen area. Big screen over here that I was trying to use today and I couldn't get it to work. Bathroom, that door that you see on the left there. Refrigerator, freezer over there. The range. Kitchen is a sink right there. It's actually seated back in the bathroom. Anyway, any other questions or comments before we go for the day?
Wayne, if you click on the Q&A, there are a couple of questions from Doug Starfield. Click the Q&A. Yeah, you'll see.
Q&A. All right. Wow, where's that?
Yeah, so there are some that I tried to answer, and then there's some open.
Well done. Usually use it. Doug put some stuff in it. Can land be taken by eminent domain or data server? No, not at all. Well, I say that, Doug, I can't imagine. You can. No, I really think the answer to that's no. I'm not a lawyer. We're now in a global fight with the data server companies. Why now? Are you sure we are? People are locally. There is NIMBYism everywhere. You know, there are places in the country that they're being highly accepted and encouraged. So it's not like everybody feels. So Doug, do you think if we lose to the Chinese on AI, that's going to be good? We need to be able to compete. I love Elon Musk's idea. Put him in satellites. And he's going to start doing it. So 2027, he can put up like 10,000 different satellites that are, they take care of, they don't need any water for cooling. They don't need the power because they get that from the sun. They still will generate the data, and they can store data on them, and they're all out in space. Maybe not a bad thing. But I don't, it's real easy to read about the places where data centers are not being accepted, but there are just as many out there you're never going to read about because it's not good readable press with no problems are occurring. When people accept something, who wants to write about it? Oldest giant tortoise is 192 years old. Wow. Well, hypoxia in the Gulf of Mexico is the dead zone. It's a massive seasonal area of oxygen depleted water. Yeah, it's true. It's not new though. It's been going on for as long as I've been alive. Maybe larger now, but there's been that dead zone because of discharge of contaminated water from river systems into the Gulf of Mexico. Not good. Looks like Doug might have another comment. Need a town hall to air the data severe issues. I think that's what it's saying. Have you seen power bills going sky high with data centers? No, just the opposite. We've got lots of them going here in Idaho. Our power bills, we've got the lowest power bills in the nation. But I mean, there's no reason they should go up. The ones that are going in here, Beta has one going in. They're paying for all construction. They're creating jobs for 1,000 people. They're providing all the water. They're providing all the power themselves, and the power is going to be used for other purposes once the construction's complete. I don't hear anything really negative about that. So. All right, well, thank you. You're always a great audience. I love you guys. We will be back on the 27th with the next guest. Tell us about our guest. We'll be back next week. Talk.
Yes, it's going to be on the 27th. It's going to be Jonathan.
Lundgren.
Yes. He's a great guy. So you're going to enjoy this one. So Jonathan, he's also similar to Tim. So regenerative agriculture and same kind of stuff. So it's going to be great.
Good. All right. Thanks, everybody. Love you guys. Talk to you later.